Hello and welcome to the first in a series of videos that I'm making to share with you some of the really lovely things you can do with all of the products in Close to My Heart's National Stamping Month special celebration, Say It With Style. So in this celebration we have some gorgeous stamp sets. You can get them with thin cuts or without. There's 2 sets of stencils. And then there are a number of workshop kits for card makers that you can purchase at discounted prices. Today we are going to have a close look at one of the stencil sets. It's called the Plaid front stencils, card stencils. But I'm going to talk to you about how you can use it for your scrapbook. There are 4 stencils that come in this pack. 2 of them are sized to fit slimline cards and 2 of them are sized to fit our standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch cards. And each pair is designed to work together. So in this one you have a diagonal stripe. This stencil would have a wide stripe, and this one has 2 narrower stripes. Okay, now when I lay them over the top of each other, you can get an idea of how they will work together. So you can use 2 different colors, and you do the bold stripe in one and then narrow stripes in another, and you would get a really groovy striped design. You can also flip the stencils so that the second lot of stripes is going at a 90-degree angle to the first lot, and that will give you the plaid or the more checked kind of look. You can use the 2 different widths together, or you can do them all with one stencil. Okay, the reason you've got 2 different sized ones is so that if you're card making, it just makes it really fast. You don't have to match up stripes to get the width for a standard card here, and you don't have to match up long ways to get the length for a slimline card. Okay. But having both sizes translates beautifully into scrapbooking. This slimline card works really well for borders on your pages, and this size works really nicely for PML cards or journal boxes and that kind of thing. Okay, so let me pull in a couple of pieces that I have pre-cut. All right, I'm just working on an old Cricut mat because that will hold my cardstock in place nicely for me. This piece will become a page border. It's 3 inches wide by 11 1/2 inches long, and this one can be used as a PML card, so for pocket scrapbooking, or for a journal card, and I have cut this one at 4 by 6. Okie dokie. Now let's start with the smaller one, and you'll see that it's not quite long enough for the 6 inches. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp up here. This is for a birthday page, and then I will start the stripes maybe a little bit further down, or I will just have something coming up from the bottom. And I think actually that's the way I'm going to go with this one. I think I'm going to use one of the ideas in the workshop. So when you go to my website and have a look at the Say It With Style promotion, you will see there's lots of different cards you can make. And there's one that uses shades of teals and blues that I really like, that uses this one. So I've just lined the top of that up with the halfway point here. I'm going to use Journey ink because it's a brand new color. It's our color of the year, and I haven't had a big play with it. Normally for stencils I would be using my blending brushes or blending tools. I am away from home in my daughter's craft room, and she has way less goodies to play with than I do. So I'm just using the good old sponge technique, okay? So I'm going to start slightly off, and the Cricut mat is grabbing my stencil as well, which makes it nice for me. And I'm going to come in dark on the edges and then just lightly drag up. Okay, so when you use a sponge, you get a bit more of a textured look to your stencil, but that's okay if if it's all the same. All right, so that's the beginning, and then I'm going to move my stencil so that there's another lot of stripes in between, and I can use the grids on my Cricut mat to make sure that the stencil is nice and square. If you're worried about going off the edge, grab some masking tape and just put that there, okay? Oops. Oh, good heavens. There you are, third time's a charm. And again, I'll just come in a little bit darker on here and then just drag it up lightly. So as I said, this is a lot easier if you're using blending brushes, but with a bit of practice, it's not too hard with stencils. And then I'm going to move this one up a little bit so that it comes over here. I should have done that in the first place so that I can get that light line going all the way across there. Okay, and then I want one here. So this is based loosely on one of the cards that's in there. Okay, so I've got this design going now, and if I flip my stencil, I can get the crosses going the other way. Okay, so glue that down, and this time I'll still work from the outside edge to get it a bit darker, and then just drag. So the beauty of stencils is that you can work in any ink colors that you have, and you can use any inks. So I am using the dye-based Close to My Heart inks here, but if you have Distress Oxides, you can use those and you will get a more intense color showing through. And you can then, use water to react with them if you want to get those effects on your stencils as well. Just take any of the techniques you've used with other stencils and give them a go with this set of stencils. Okay, let's just see how that's looking. I didn't space it perfectly there, but I think it'll be okay. So this one could actually be a 3x3 as well, if I wanted it to. Now I'm going to just sponge, because what I want to do is put this sentiment, time to celebrate your special day. This is one of the stamp sets that's part of the promotion, and I'm going to stamp that in the middle here. So I'm just going to lightly sponge a place for that, and then I think I'm going to, what I'm going to do is then sponge the edges so that this color goes all the way around. This block is way too big for the stamp, but you work with what you've got, don't you? So I've seasoned that now. I'll ink that up. I've just added my little bit of foam straight on top of the Cricut mat, and Stamp that down there. Woohoo! And then I'm going to add some cupcakes in here on the edge, and I'll show you those at the end of the video. So we're going to move on now, and I'm going to just show you how you can use the wide and the narrow together on this border. All right, I've pulled out Glacier and a retired color called Champagne. My daughter gets my rejects when I upgrade new colors or new you know, the magnetic ones. She gets what I don't need. So I'm going to do the bold line lightly in the Glacier. So you don't have to have these like really bold and dark if you don't want to. You totally can. Because I'm using the sponges to get a really bold look, I would have to lay a lot more color on, and I really don't want to do that. Just securing that a bit there with the masking tape. So I'm just going to make this one quite light. Now when I get down to here, this one is a full strip, but this one is a part strip, so I'm not going to color that bit, okay? Because I'm going to need to move the stencil down to get the border. Oh, so pretty. Now I can match up one of the stripes I've previously colored and just check that these ones go the whole way across. And lightly colored them. If you're doing using distress oxides, you can also color blend really easily. You know, start with a lighter color in the middle and work out to a darker color, those sorts of things. So that is my large stripe. Then I'll swap over to the narrower stripe, and I'm going to have that going the other way and use my second color. So line this one up, secure it, and again this time I'm just going to work, you know, lightly with it, going across to see what I get. So these, well, any stencils, but these ones, because they're more of a geometric pattern, these would be great stencils to have in your supplies for when you get to the point like where you're running low on a paper pack, you know, a coordinated paper pack. You're down to just bits and bobs of it, and you just need a little bit of more coordinating colors or papers or whatever, and you don't want to use just plain cardstock. Pull out your stencils and look on the zip strip of the paper pack, and it will tell you the colors that are used in the paper pack, and then just use those color inks with your stencils and you will be able to create a really beautiful coordinated look. And there you go. So two quite different looks from that one stencil. Okay, that's how hard it gets. Not hard at all. I will pop some photos of a very simple layout at the end of this video. If you've enjoyed watching it, please like, please subscribe, add a comment if you can think of other ways that you might use this particular stencil for your scrapbooking, and then head on over to my website passionateaboutpages.com and check out all the details. And here we have it, a really simple, quick page layout. This would be a one-page layout because most of our birthday celebrations now don't have a lot of photos in them because we haven't been around for our granddaughter's birthday this past year. So a 3-inch border, and a 2-inch border over here, the stenciling that I had done, and then I used this gorgeous birthday set that comes as part of the Say It With Style promotion. This candle here, cake and candle here, I did 2nd generation Journey ink, okay, and then this really cute cupcake, this one here, I used the same color that I used on these stripes, which in my case was champagne, but shortbread would be beautiful with that. Popped it all on the light side of the Journey cardstock. I redid the PML card because I realized this one looked a bit dark next to that one, and I used Glacier instead of the Journey for the bottom there. So I think I'll just convert this one to a card front. Would be nice and easy. You could have a 3x3 photo here, or this could be a journaling space. Otherwise you could add journaling strips as captions on some of the photos. The happy birthday title there is also from the stamp set, and this balloon stamp I used, this is 2nd, 3rd and 4th generation of Journey there. Then sprinkled a few of the Journey sequins around. Ta-da! Let me know in the comments if something as simple as this appeals to you, and come back in a couple of days and I'll have another video sharing the 2nd set of stencils that are in this promotion.